Picture this. Think of your favorite rap artist. Mine is Lil Wayne, okay? AKA Weezy F Baby, and the F is for front though, cause that's where I bring it. One day you get wind that your favorite artist and their cousin were feeling a bit spicy and decided to carry out a robbery. You're hoping that neither one of them gets charged, and you're feeling pretty hopeful because your favorite artist doesn't even have a criminal record. But that hope is shattered when your favorite artist gets sentenced to death and they didn't even pull the trigger. And the main thing being used against them is their rap lyrics. Welcome to the Red Lip Lab. But take your shoes off first. Please. Two cousins, James Broadnax and Demarius Cummings, are hanging out, doing what cousins do. They decide to get a little risque and smoke some whip, which, if you didn't know, is Mary Jane laced with and embalming fluid. One of them comes up with the brilliant idea to catch public transportation from Dallas to Garland with the intent of robbing somebody. Around 1 a.m., Stephon Swan and Matthew Butler are walking out of their Christian music studio when they're approached by Broadnax and Cummings. Now, y'all, I'm gonna be honest, saying Broadnax already is becoming a bit of a tongue twister, so we're gonna refer to Broadnax as Nax, okay? Is it okay with y'all? Yeah, okay, cool. Nax and Cummings hold them at gunpoint, demanding them to hand over their belongings. They then go through Swan and Butler's pockets and ends up finding keys to Swan's Crown Vic. Possibly one of them shoot both men, and then Nax and Cummings drive off. Now, after all of this, you would think that the cousins would have gotten some major cash, right? They would have gotten like some cha-ching. No, the duo got away with a whopping $2. Realizing what they had done, they had both agreed that Nax would go down as being the shooter since he had no criminal record. In an interview, Cummings says that he deeply regrets the robbery and what he did. But Broadnax, on the other end, baby, he is showing his entire black behind. Watch this.
So got caught him slipping. She ain't popped his. That's what it is. In his homeboy, I shot his again, you know what I'm saying? But he was still trying to run off. But I knew he was gonna die anyway, but just to make sure, pop, shot his like, you know what I'm saying, twice in the head or whatever.
What do you want to say to the families of the two men you killed?
Straight up.
Fast forward a few months later, and both men are charged with capital murder. Cummings is sentenced to life in prison, and Nax is sentenced to death. However, Nax's trial causes a huge uproar, especially within the hip-hop community. Prosecutors find pages of written rap lyrics depicting Nax as violent and dangerous. And with his previous interview, it was hard to deny it. This bold move ends up getting the attention of major rap artists like T.I., Killer Mike, Travis Scott, Young Thug, the list goes on. Them, along with other artists, actors, and activists, ends up submitting requests to the Supreme Court asking them to halt Nax's execution. Not only do prosecutors attempt to use rap lyrics in court, but they also exclude any black people from serving on the jury. That was until the judge decided to add a black person to the jury themselves. Fast forward again into February of 2026. Nax's execution date is creeping closer and closer. But now the cousins are singing a different tune. Now Cummings is admitting that he was the shooter, that he convinced his cousin Nax to take the blame because, again, Nax has no prior record. Cummings makes this admission because over time he has grown more spiritual, and his conscience won't let Nax take the fall, especially with evidence confirming what Cummings was saying. At the time of this recording, Nax is set to be executed in 19 days. Courts are soon expected to rule on this request to pause the execution date and possibly revisit the trial. When they do make a final decision, I will be sure to keep you guys updated. But until then, what do you think the verdict will be? Will Broadnax's life be spared, or will he still meet his fate? Until next time.